My name is Katie.
And my name is Anastasia, and the method that we did for our video is words in a bag, box, or hat. And the purpose of our method is it's an oral development strategy that allows for students to pull a random word out of your hat or your bag or your box, and then they describe the word and explain how it relates to the overall concept. So your materials required are a hat and then your list of keywords on cards.
We thought this method and strategy was most appropriate for beginning ELLs because it's more entertaining for students who are at a lower level, and it allows for students who are struggling to read a new vocabulary word and comprehend its meaning. Beginner ELLs cannot read complex sentences yet, and they usually focus on only one word or short phrases, so this activity is able to simplify the new information for them. And our content that we chose is science. That's what we will focus our activity on.
So we have content and language objectives that we created from the TEKS and the ELPs that we have for our specific activity. So our TEKS are relating to the science and the grade 1. And so our content objectives specifically are: I can identify whether something is non-living or living. I can learn about characteristics of living and non-living things. I'm learning about a non-living or living object and how it interacts with organisms and life cycles. And I can sort non-living things from living things.
In our ELPS that we chose, we decided to focus on speaking, and our language objectives that we created are: I can orally describe the difference between living and non-living things. I can explain how I know that the object is living or non-living, and I can use new vocabulary to orally describe the characteristics of living and non-living things.
And our step-by-step process for this strategy, so basically step 1 is you find a subject area of focus. So for us, it's science. Step 2, you're going to make the key list of words, and then step 3 would be to put them on cards. So we have little words on cards. And then step 3 is to create those cards and put them in the bag, in the box, or the hat. And then step 5, you're going to call a student up and you're going to ask them to pull a word out of the hat, and then they're going to explain what the word means and how it relates to the lesson. So for this, it's whether it's living or non-living. And then for step 6, you're just going to repeat it until you feel like the students understand.
All right, so now we're going to do a demonstration. So would you like to be a volunteer?
Yes, I would love to.
Awesome. Can you pick a word from the hat and read it to me?
Okay, so the word is rock.
Is that a living or non-living thing?
It is non-living.
Good job.
Thank you. Okay, and then we're going to explain a little bit about how this strategy is appropriate for ELLs as they're developing their proficiency in English. So basically, this strategy is appropriate for many reasons. It's appropriate because it includes active student participation. You're encouraging those students to become involved, and then you're also able to check for their understanding and comprehension of the words that are new to them. And then it's also an informal way of assessing whether they are or where they are at on the proficiency levels, like beginning or intermediate. And then their descriptions and conversations and answering the question, like, is this non-living or living? It allows the teacher to see if they are following along and understanding.
And so in relation to the second language acquisition theory, we thought that this activity helps students to improve their motivation and self-confidence through the effective filter hypothesis, because when students are able to read vocabulary word and describe it, then they're building their motivation and their self-confidence. And additionally, this activity is presented in a fun and engaging way, which helps them provide a low level of anxiety in the classroom, and it motivates students to participate and learn. And in my field experience, some of the students would benefit from this activity because they seem hesitant to ask questions sometimes because they are unsure if their answer will be right or not. And if the teacher were to use this activity in the classroom, then the students could practice their language skills in a fun way, which would boost their self-confidence and create a low filter within their learning environment.
Thanks for watching.